Okay, I need y'all to look at my beautiful, majestic cat right quick. Please look. The majesty of Ezra. Hello, book lovers. So I basically just finished editing the video announcing this vlog and realized that I already should have been filming this before I finished editing. Since I started recording that and since I started the process of wanting to do this vlog, I have read the Raven Boys, and I think that might be it for ones that I had on my TBR list for the beginning of the year. Otherwise, I've read the Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix, and I've read a couple of arcs. But I've honestly had a lot going on lately, and that's another reason that I haven't necessarily been filming this. But as you can see, I got a new habitat, rather than my husband and I got a new habitat for our snake boy. You cannot see him because he is in his hide, but that was a whole process. I'm also working up to finals at the moment. Like, I'm in that flurry of assignments that comes before the finals. Otherwise, I just did my first substitute teaching job yesterday. Which was pretty great. The first period that I did, it was only half a day, but the first period that I did, they were kind of pushing me a little bit. Most of the class was good, but there were like 3 students that were kind of being obstinate little assholes. The second class that I taught was a lot better. They were much more quiet. They listened to directions more. They were a lot more friendly too. So let me see. The other things that I'm reading right now, because I can't just read one book apparently, are Cemetery Boys, which wasn't on my list, I don't think. I'm trying to do Diviners. I think that's what's holding me up, maybe. So I'm considering probably just skipping to the Hollow Place, because otherwise I'm going to end up in another slump, and I really don't want that. She is a very sweet lady. Oh, basking in the sunlight. I've also very slowly been putting up Christmas decorations. Like, I haven't put up the lights yet or anything, but I've slowly just been picking out the little knickknacks. So I'll show you that right quick. Bam. Bam. So Christmas. So season. Much festive. Hopefully the only one of these that I will have to have that looks like this again ever. Yeah, otherwise I still have to put up, if I don't break them all, these lights and those lights and stockings. And I think that's mostly it. That's just cords and things, I believe. Yeah, it's just cords with lights. Single thing. There's a broken deer, reindeer that I haven't decided if I want to put up. He's so broken, but that was my favorite decoration before. I'm just gonna put him over here on my desk for now. I just like Christmas. My family celebrates Christmas. I try to do it with them. I think it's a really fun time of year. I've also very slowly been putting together the apartment, and I don't know if you can see, but I also may or may not need to take down Halloween decorations. I haven't decided if I'm just going to keep them up year-round or not. So basically, I'm about to put my stove back together because I spent the morning cleaning my kitchen, make some lunch, do some homework. I have to make a huge PowerPoint and do a video for that as well, so that'll be fun. And start studying, start studying particularly for my math stuff that's coming up that I'm dreading. Since I don't have bread, I'm going to make some discount ramen because I am healthy. I forgot about this little snowman head. but it's been up for a little while now. So right now I'm about to have my very healthy lunch and play some Animal Crossing and probably start the audiobook for the Hollow Places. So yeah. Please look at my cute little babies and listen to their song. I promise that all of this video is not going to be Animal Crossing, but I just noticed that Lee is here on my island. I want to see what produce he has. He's so nice though. Yes. I don't have tomatoes yet. Y'all, I'm pretty sure that this book just mentioned the town where I basically grew up. Like, I was right next to it the whole time, and I worked, like, right next to as well. I worked in Pinehurst, which is directly adjacent to Southern Pines, and they are both basically golf capitals. The hotel that I worked at was basically one of the ones that facilitated all of the golf resorts that were there. I had to deal with all the snobby golfers. And they're talking about how they're right next to this place called Southern Pines with all of these retired old snobby golfers. And I'm like, I know where that is. Yeah, I'm having a transformative experience because I never read anything that like takes place in North Carolina, especially not mentioning all these things. Like, is this how people from New York City feel all the time? Because it's so great. Like, they're talking about barbecue and Krispy Kreme, and hush puppies, and just all these great things, that are like essential to North Carolina. We are known for our barbecue. Everyone freaking loves hush puppies here. And Krispy Kreme is originally from North Carolina, and it just confirmed that this is taking place an hour from where I grew up. Like, that is how she specified it, which is how I had to specify things all the time. Like, people would ask where I lived, and I'd always have to make it in reference to Southern Pines. Like, well, you know where Southern Pines is, or Pinehurst, around that area? I'm like half an hour away from there. I don't even like this state that much. And I'm still like, it's still hitting me. It kind of reminds me of Gravity Falls a little bit, because she's going to stay with her uncle at this museum of oddities of sorts. Now, she's a grown woman and she's getting a divorce, but still, like, that's a similarity on its face. Thankfully, her uncle is not a dick, but he is, like, very much a man's man, like a grizzly man's man. So, I don't know. We'll see if the comparisons continue from there, but I know there's kind of a supernatural element as well. Y'all, this lady's talking about reading smutty fan fiction before bed. This book. Okay, 3 things that I have learned recently. 1, T. Kingfisher is apparently a woman, and I have been misgendering her this entire time. For some reason, I had heard from one of my friends that she was a man. Apparently that is not the case, so I apologize to T. Kingfisher for misgendering you repeatedly, I'm pretty sure. Also, the main character's best friend is apparently gay, and they don't make a big deal out of it. It's just kind of slipped in there. So, the other thing is, apparently, there are dead bodies in this portal, and the horror aspect is starting, I guess. So, I finished my lunch. I'm going to take about 30 more minutes to just kind of fuck around. And then I'm going to actually start on my homework for the day. I'm more likely to start it if I set a specific time. So I'm going to say, what time is it? Okay, it's 2:30 now, so I'm going to say that I will start at 3 o'clock. Hold me to it. Good morning. It is November 17th, which is the day after my previous recording. And I got nothing done yesterday. I didn't get nothing done, let me clarify. I got the Hollow Places finished because I was just completely immersed in it. So I got that finished, and I did end up giving it 5 stars. It was so good. Only complaint I had, and it was small, was that it started to slow down at some point, but it was reaching back to a peak, so I can forgive that. But yeah, it was really, really good. It was like a dark Gravity Falls mixed with a dark Narnia. I can't even think of another comparison. I know there's another one in there, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I think I'll definitely read it again. I would recommend it to other people. If you like horror, and you like horror that can occasionally make you giggle, like, the whole thing is not a laugh riot. Like, it gets very creepy and pretty graphic. The only actual altercations that I can think of, there is a lot of tension, basically, through a lot of it, and that's where the creepy vibe comes through. And there are some graphic scenes where someone describes torture, and I won't go too into detail because I don't think that would end up being appropriate for this channel. But yeah, it gets kind of bad. That's not something that the main characters have to go through, though, thankfully. But yeah, it was basically the final altercation that gets a little silly. And there's one twist, I guess you would say, and I predicted it early on, and I can never tell if it's obvious to other people, but it's hinted at a lot, so maybe it is. Like, if you're paying attention, then yeah, maybe. I actually finished another book too. It's called Somebody Loves You by Mona Archie. That one was kind of on the other end of the spectrum. I didn't really like it. Like, some of the, it's an interesting concept for one thing, and some of the word usage by the author is interesting. I like some of the vocabulary used and how that they make words flow to an extent. But other than that, I was kind of bored out of my mind the entire time, and I can't. But yeah, it's really frustrating at this point to waste my time on a book. I've gotten to a point in my life where my time is extremely important. Like, we only have a finite amount of time on Earth. So I'm thinking in the future I might give a book like 1/3 of the way. Like, if I get 1/3 of the way into a book and I still don't like it, or it's still just putting me to sleep, then I'll either put it to the side to start back up later if I think that it's something that I could get into and my brain's just not really grasping onto it right now, or I'll DNF it if it's just something that I know I'm not going to be able to get into, like this book. It is an interesting concept, but it is written in such a dry way that I know that I wouldn't like it if I came back to it. Maybe it's like years and years from now if my tastes change. Ezra has decided to join me. Okay, so I'm really glad that I decided to give this book another try. I didn't really get into it last time enough to realize this, but this is another story where someone has to go live with their uncle at a weird museum. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of into it. Like, apparently this is a trope that I wasn't aware of. And, you know, I'm not mad at it. She likes to bask in the sun. But yeah, hopefully that won't happen again. I'm going to have some lunch and then force myself to actually do some work this time. So I'm sitting here trying to plan my day, and this lady's sitting here doing this. Oh my God, Ezra.
I got them bitches, 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 got them hoes. I got them.
It's beautiful. I hope this will still record audio while I'm wearing these. I just thought about that. So I'm going to listen to my audiobook for the Diviners for a little bit and probably do some research for some tags that I want to do, and maybe work on my PowerPoint a little bit. I found out that it's not due until like December. I have no idea why I thought it was due this week, but it makes me feel a little bit better about everything. ambiance. Good morning. I look like crap because I started my period. Yay! I have PCOS, so that's fun for those who don't know about it. But it can make periods like really long and painful and like intense. Thankfully I'm on medication for it, so it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still really painful and intense. It just doesn't last as long. Thankfully I don't have a lot today that necessarily has to get done today. I read The Diviners for a lot of last night. I listened to it on audiobook and I read some of the physical copy as well. Let me see. I am on page 135. I just started the rind of Moonlight. I'm really enjoying it so far. I feel like I kind of need a map though for all of the characters. As far as the rest of my day goes, I do have some assignments that I need to try and get done. I have a quiz. Let me think. A quiz. And 2 one-page essays, which generally are nothing for me. I just knock them out in no time. And there was like a college transfer exercise type thing that I need to do for my ACA course. And the rest of it is just basically studying for math, which I don't necessarily have to do today, but I should. And, maybe working on my PowerPoint that I need to do for English. I theoretically also need to take out the trash and do laundry, but we don't have a washer and dryer, so that's not happening. That's not happening today. I don't know if y'all can see, but I've reached a new accomplishment. I have bags on my bags. My bags got bags. Level up. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and like get fully dressed with like jeans and like bras and stuff like that. And that might help. And then while I was getting dressed, I was like, hey, I should put on my makeup. That helps sometimes. And like, I definitely do feel a little bit better than I was before. I feel like I can actually do things. Like, I wouldn't mind going out in public as much as I did before. Like, I'm still super drained. I forgot that I put some peas in the microwave before I started getting dressed. But now I'm going to go get my peas. I made peas because they have iron, and I need iron right now because I don't have any supplements. So, like, peas give me strength to get through this day. She's looking out at the street. Yeah, you're comfy. So my boyfriend knew I was having a hard day, and he brought me not only a peppermint mocha, which was sweet enough, but these boys, because you know, this Starbucks makes me feel less like shit. And yes, that is a lot of empty alcohol containers. No, they are not recent. We just collect them for whatever reason. So I make this baked cabbage a lot that I really like. I know cabbage, I didn't like it for the longest time, but I really like this baked cabbage. But I'm trying to make some version of it in my crock pot to see if it's even doable. Because I want to try and take some for Thanksgiving, and it would be more portable in a crock pot. Okay, so my tablet's charging, and now I have my laptop charging, so I'm going to do some reading for class, because it's rather important. My phone got charged a little bit more. It's like 55% or something like that. So my tablet is more dire need because they use the same charger, but my phone still doesn't have enough juice for me to just be filming everything. So I'm just gonna go do my thing and then I'll come back to it later. In the process of actually trying to make myself look like I give a damn, and I was just messing with my hair. I don't know if you can even see it. That's how it's turning out. And this side looks good, right? And then bam! So I gave up on the hair thing, and also I lied. I haven't done any homework yet, and it's 2:50. It's more than halfway through the day, and I haven't done a damn thing except for put some cabbage on, have some brunch, and clean up a little bit. That's all I've done. Oh, and get clothed. Like, wow. Setting the bar real high today. Okay, I need to go back through this textbook and do some reviewing for this quiz, so I might record some of that. So I technically already started filming this, but I did kind of want to put a warning for people who don't like this. I am going to be marking in my textbook, and I had already started recording and marking in my textbook, and I was like, I'd probably warn people so they can just like skip over that if that bothers them. But yeah, I'm marking my textbooks. Fight me. How long people generally record themselves reading, and I feel really weird doing it, especially when it's for school. Um, so I'm gonna stop this here. Like, I feel like I've recorded plenty. I may just be, I don't know, but it is slightly distracting to have this on, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off and come back to it later, probably. Y'all, books are following me. So, like, I'm doing this well, I'm not doing this assignment. I'm taking my notes and going back through the chapter, and I forgot that there's this survey that I didn't do last time. It's the Reading Interest Survey, and it's kind of supposed to determine what your interest is in reading and your learning style and all this stuff. But anyway, I just thought I'd go over it. Forgive my handwriting when I'm writing to myself. It doesn't matter to me. For the first one's like, do you want to read? Do you like to read? Yes. How much time do you spend reading? Too much? Question mark. What are some of the books that you've read lately? Ninth House, The Raven Boy, Hollow Places. I'm going to add on to that. Do you have a library card? How often do you use it? Yes. Not often enough. Promise that my writing is not usually this messy. Yes, I get books from the library. How many books do I fucking own? Are you kidding me? I'm gonna say about 250. It's less than I had before, like 100 less than I had before. I'm making it like this from now on because it tastes slightly better and it takes less work. Like, it takes a little bit more time, but at the same time, like, I can just throw this shit in here, like, chop it into the thing rather than having to use a cutting board and then just throw the stuff in and let it go. I don't have to be precise about it or, like, yeah, dirty more dishes with a cutting board or a pan or anything like that. I can just cut it in here and let it go. And oh my god, it's so fucking tasty. I know it probably doesn't look it, but it is. Okay, it is the next morning, so I'm gonna wrap it up now. Basically, the cabbage turned out great. I'm gonna do that from now on. I might put it in the oven afterwards to like let it brown a little bit to make it like a little crispy. But other than that, I read some more Cemetery Boys. Like I read like 50 pages last night because I finally like got into it. Confirmed that yes, the main character is trans. It is apparently a big part of the story, which I had no idea. And I'm just, now that we've gotten to the point where Julian is there, if you've read it, you'll know who Julian is. Or Julian? Depends on the pronunciation, I guess. But yeah, now that he is there, I'm excited because he's an interesting character. Other than that, let me see. Today, I have a date with my comet, which is another polyamorous term. Basically, I see them every once in a while, and when we're together, we're together. When we're not, we're not. And then we're still like affectionate and, you know, friendly and stuff like that in between. It's just not like, we don't have the entanglements of a serious relationship, basically. So not, I guess not quite my boyfriend, but my comet is the best way to put it. But yeah, have a date with him later, and I'm trying to think if I have anything else today. Just a lot of homework, honestly. So I probably wouldn't be a lot of recording today anyway. I'm also feeling a little burned out, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I've been posting these, I've been recording so much and editing so much and putting up so much work into these videos, and no one honestly seems to like them very much, so I don't know. Kind of feels like it dissuades me a little bit. Nah, freaking light keeps changing. But yeah, I'm gonna try to keep on keeping on, but yeah, that makes it a little harder. But this ends part 1 of this particular leg of the reading vlog. Thank you if you watched this whole video. I don't know why you did, but I appreciate it. Have a good day. Take care of yourself. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, love yourself. Alright, bye.